two different spell slots.
Okay. In reattuning to Kanker's ring, the ring of mind shielding, uh, it gives you the ability immune to magic that allows other creatures to read your thoughts, determine whether you are lying, know your alignment, know your creature type. Creatures that can telepathically communicate with you only if you allow it. Um, it also has some other complicated things, like the fact that it currently is also housing the soul of the individual that you knew for a while as the adversary, and then as Percival Cankers, and then you gave him the strange sort of grace of allowing him to let his soul be stored in the ring instead of sent to whatever afterlife might have been otherwise awaiting him. So, with this ring, you find that there, like I described for Lynn last time, there was a sort of background magical noise that you find is muted. I will say that I think as DM, I would rule that her level 8 mind blank spell is more powerful than your ring, but it is a similar effect. As you reattune to it, do you reach out to Percival at all?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What do you say?
I'm beginning to understand a bit more about how you did what you did. Maybe even a little bit about why you did what you did. I won't be
Well,
doing the same, but it's admirable.
I hardly think you have full understanding of everything that I went through. This ring was but a mere component of the overall plan, but I do imagine that you have more understanding than you did before.
Understanding is what I'm always seeking. Sometimes it's a little bit more dangerous than other times, but to truly understand, I think you have to make those risks.
So I have to ask you, though, you don't have the full level of protection and mental discipline and uh, barricades up in your mind that I did to control what the pillar might do for you. What is it exactly you think is going to happen when you get there?
I've been giving that a great deal of thought. It's difficult to really determine, given how limited anyone's experience has been. Too much of it has been about desires, mostly selfish, mostly not really thought through. People wanting things, but either not being specific enough or rather leaving too much to interpretation. What will happen? I suspect I'll be confronted with a decision about what I want to have happen next.
See, this is why this is all going to go terribly for you and your friends. That's not how the pillar works. You don't get to make a decision. It reads you like you're a book, and then it tells you what you actually want. And it may not be what you think you want at all.
But that's it, though. Who you are should be your decision. What you want in your heart of hearts should be something you've been searching for and understand.
Well, maybe the pillar will grant you the ability to make the world actually be that way.
Maybe, but I'm willing to try.
Well, I guess I'm along for the ride whether I like it or not.
True. I don't know if the ring has the capacity to store two souls. If it does, I may join you. If it doesn't, well, you'll probably have your final rest. Either way,
Just to be clear, I'm in here now. I could stop your soul from coming in. So if you die, your soul goes wherever. I'm staying.
if you wish. Is this where you wish to be?
Well, see, the thing is, I mentioned how there were a lot more components to my whole deal and how I made sure that what the pillar would find in my subconscious was what I wanted it to find. But that involved making a lot of deals with a variety of entities that might feel as though they have some claim to my soul were it allowed to depart the material plane. And so I would just as soon skip that.
Interesting. If there's time later, if I've survived, I would love to ask you about that.
Why?
I simply wish to know.
See, that is exactly why, in my opinion, it is so dangerous for you to approach the pillar. You have a powerful desire for an abstract concept. Who knows what the pillar might do with that?
True. Does feel better for me than some sort of material good.
Well, you think what I wished for was a material good?
I think so. Whether you think of it that way or not.
Hmm.
Do you actually know what happened? Or do you just suppose that it went right? You've made a lot of assumptions since you've died.
If you had already been granted a wish by the pillar, you wouldn't ask that question.
Although everyone we've encountered who's had a wish has discovered it going awry,
Well,
which they didn't
that's
know.
because few have ever been as prepared as I was.
Or smug, I suspect. Actually,
Well,
no, a lot of them probably were very smug.
you know what? Preparation entitles you to smugness. See, where you really have to worry is when you're smug without having done the work.
If only there was all the time.
Well, I suppose that it's going to go one way or another. I suppose that I will wish for you to at least continue to exist in such a way that we can continue this conversation once it's all done.
Thank you. That's very kind of you.
If you want to see it that way.
I do. Now I have other preparations to consider, but we'll talk again, I'm sure.
I will definitely be interested to know what that machine turns out to do.
Something interesting, I think.
See, you've done a lot of preparation, but it's someone else's preparations. You're planning to carry out someone else's plan.
I'm preparing with my friends to confront something beyond all of life. So it feels fitting to use something which is beyond all of life to achieve that.
Mm.
The scale seems appropriate.
You know what? I'll give you that one.
Thank you.
Still don't think it's going to work.
Of course not. I wouldn't expect you to think otherwise.
See, now, if you're going to start treating me like I'm predictable, I'm going to get annoyed.
Didn't you want to be predictable? Wasn't that the point of everything you did?
Not to you.
No, to something much more powerful than me, which requires you to be even more predictable than I could possibly imagine.
That's not how it works.
Hmm.
That's not how any of this works.
So you say.
Well, when you are standing in the position of having been granted a wish, then we'll have a conversation about who did it right.
It's true. It's possible. And I think the preparation he's going to do is actually working out things in his journal.
Mm.
Magical formulae plus philosophy plus all the evidence he's seen so far.
Mm-hmm. Is anyone else doing anything during your short rest?
Nope.
If we're taking a short rest, I want to unattune from the hither thither wand and go back to the other thing that I was attuned to.
Doesn't that take an hour?
Yeah,
Short
for a
rest.
short
Teaching
rest.
the full hour? Oh, I thought it was only okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you're gonna unattune from that, I'm going to pick it up again because I was attuned to the tower and now that's gone. So-
Yeah, perfect. Works out. So yeah, that's all I do. I just sit around and think about stuff.
Mm-hmm. Stuff, huh?
Yeah.
What kind of
important.
stuff?
I think about, talismans and how good they are and why it sucked that no matter
Stuff.
how hard she tried, it never really sucked anybody into the fiery abyss. And,
Mm-hmm.
hoping that maybe with these last two charges that I can do that someday.
He did suck the Destroyer Colossus's leg into the abyss.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's supposed to be like, that's it, you're dead, but it was like a colossus, so it was just a leg.
Yeah.
I think it also worked on the lich too, but she came back.
Right, yeah, because it destroyed the body, but not but the soul was protected in the soul stone. Anyway,
Yeah.
you're thinking about that stuff, I guess.
Yep.
All right. I'm just yeah. You just make the pill. You suck the pillar into the
Yep.
void.
I'm just gonna toss it under there.
Like retracting an X-Acto knife. Um.
I kind of wish now that after overhearing that silent conversation between Nedry and Percival Cankers that we had that lovely tool when we were fighting him. Because he's just so smug all the time of like, die.
Well, he cares very passionately about one thing, and it's not you. So he has his
Well,
own
I mean,
priorities.
we really wanted to get him. Like, I'm sure there's some devils that would love to have that ring.
That's true.
Just thought.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
So.
In fact, there's a new devil that just got made today.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, would you like the ring of Percival Cankers? And he says, who? Anyway. When everybody is ready to move on, you trek across this ancient petrified battlefield, soon leaving any remnants of obvious conflict behind, instead simply trudging up a steep rocky slope, entirely barren of life except for the occasional patch of scrub grass in the lee of a larger boulder. The horizon feels close, a jagged line silhouetted against an overcast sky, but each time you reach the top of a ridge you are on, another even higher looms above you. The air is cold and stale and growing thinner as you climb. Just the same, there's a vibration, subsonic, but you feel it inside you, almost as though it is actually you that is vibrating and the world around you stocks still. It's increasing as you draw closer, both in frequency and intensity. Not entirely unpleasant, but alien as your body searches its library of experiences for a cause or an explanation, but falls short of anything more detailed than the idea that the pillar is the clapper of a bell the size of the world. Then, when you crest the next rise, you see it. Visible through the clouds for the first time as more than a hint of shadow. Even as you watch, the clouds draw away from it like the curtain of an opera stage. It is impossibly tall, infinitely tall, perhaps a trick of perspective or simply a failure of your mind's ability to comprehend it. The sky itself appears to bend upward to allow it, as though it were a blanket draped over the top of a post. At moments it appears made of plain gray stone, but wherever you look at the edges of your vision flare with iridescent light. Likewise, the vibration you felt has graduated to a tingling, pins and needles sensation throughout your body. And as it does, you hear the machine powering up, taking this vibration and focusing it to a crystal clear note, like a choir singing in unison. You're still carrying the machine, I assume, Zinhorn.
Yes, I'm still carrying the machine. When I hear it powering up, I'm going to set it down and look at my compatriots and goes, well, there goes nothing, guys.
Someone like to make an Arcana check to try to interpret what it's doing?
Certainly.
I just realized that because I don't have Roll20 open, I can't see your results immediately. So I
Only a 22 for me.
only a
31 for
22.
me.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why it's only a 22.
Yeah. Okay. So I think that perhaps while you, Nidrigo, have used this machine before, you've operated it before, and you can interpret that it does seem to have been activated in a way that it hadn't been before. Like before, you knew how to sort of make it do a thing, but now it seems like it some condition has made it ready to do that same thing in a new way, or perhaps do something else. And you know how to sort of put it into, its operational mode. But Lynn, I think perhaps because of the way this vibration that you feel all around you and the vibration coming from the machine almost resembling song gives you an intuitive understanding to recognize that you're hearing sort of an example of contrast, as though everything coming from the pillar itself is a sort of dissonance, and it feels like the song that the machine is making is the intended chord. Almost like someone playing a pitch pipe for a choir struggling to get on key. And you, I think, you understand, I think, intuitively that must be what the machine is about to do. It still needs to be actually activated, though.
Right. I'm going to share that information with the group.
Right.
It's an instrument?
More like a tuning fork? That feels more similar.
Wouldn't it be more like um one of those wrenches that they use on a piano to tune it?
Yeah, something like that, and I'd show them like my mandolin, the little
Hmm.
tuning knobs on it.
Knobby things, yeah.
Something like that.
So it's going to change what the pillar puts out to something better,
Mm,
or at least different.
different.
Different. Well, we can guarantee different, I think.
Well, different is good.
Is it?
I hope.
Guess we'll find out.
We got to be prepared to change our perspective.
It's true. Lynn, do you want to do the honors? I don't know if you need to play it or turn it on.
Is it just a
Yeah, I
button?
mean,
Do I know how
so,
to do that?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, Nedrigo can show you what he's done before. I think with your 31, I think
Mhm.
it's somehow it just seems obvious how it would be done.
Yeah, if I might suggest it, it looked like a complicated ritual because of the way that Nedry saw it,
Hmm.
but it probably makes a lot more sense to someone who plays instruments.
Yeah, it's a little bit like how if someone who's really good at playing the piano, if you just asked them, it's like, okay, well, which keys do I press to play that song? It would be hard to just like say it, but they could just sit down and do it like it's nothing. Right? That's kind of, I think, what it feels like.
give it a go then.
All right. So, as you activate it, you see the machine extrudes an array of brass brackets at the top that, from the perspective of standing at the console, kind of frame the pillar. And then with a flash, an overlay of color fills this illusory display between the brackets, showing the pillar wreathed within gargantuan magical fields invisible to the naked eye. The colors are unsettling to behold, almost sickening, displaying an erratic and violent misalignment with the magical fields of the world around it. A terrible dissonance in the world's attempted harmony. On the console, emerging from a hidden panel, is a new set of controls, a large tuning dial and a small lever like a throttle. And so I think that this is going to be an insight check. No, what? You know what? No, given what we were just saying, it's a performance check. So,
Lynn?
33?
33. Wow. You adjust the
Finally, something in my
controls.
wheelhouse.
You adjust the controls, tuning them like it was what you were meant to do. It's like what you were born for. And all of you seeing on this display, you watch the dramatic effects on the swirling, flailing fields in the display. And as you do, all of you feel the world seeming to warp and twist around you. But then you find it. You know how they are supposed to be, and you guide them gently into alignment. And the last of the movement is done for you as the pillar finds its true place in the world. The iridescent glimmer now shines across the entire pillar from top to bottom, and the vibration you felt becomes a joyous exultation in 1,000 voices at once. With a sort of shiver, the pillar generates a shockwave that causes the mountain to tremble. And when that wave reaches you, it is not violent or frightening. It is like being lifted into the embrace of a loving parent. You all understand in that moment that you have set the will of the Titan free, and it is now sending you back to the world with boons from the wisdom that it has accumulated throughout history. Nedrigo, you now know without being told that for the rest of your life, wherever you are, if you ask a question of the pillar, you will know the answer. When you leave this place, Nedry, Nedrigo, who will you be?
Is that a speculative question, or is it like
It-
a
I
visceral
imagine
question?
it is. It is what you
Ah.
make of it.
A teacher.
Hmm.
That will define his life.
Evan, you find yourself standing before the Lady Nightshade, and you recognize her at once. What does she look like?
She looks exactly the way she did the last time I saw her. Maybe a little taller.
She nods to you and smiles and says, "This was always my destiny, to help mortal souls when they have crossed the threshold. And yours was always to be the one to help them cross. And I could not have chosen a better man for the job. When you leave this place, Evan, what will you do?"
I think that he will continue on his path and actually become like a priest in time.
Zinhorn, you suddenly know with certainty that the mountain peak you stand on, as all mountains are, really, is an aspect of Rushama, and that with your healing of the pillar, you have brought this aspect home to the spirit with which it belongs. Without a word, you realize that you have the power to keep the people you care about safe. Your divine magic has given you the means to create impenetrable shields, impervious to whatever might threaten those you love. When you leave this place, Zinhorn, who do you protect? And sneezes right at the best possible moment.
Oh, the best possible time for an allergy attack.
Hmm.
Oh, I protect my friends. I protect the Lady Nightshade. I protect my parents. And I protect the orphans in my orphanage.
Lynn, you didn't experience any of that. When you crested the ridge and finally saw the pillar, your friends went limp like rag dolls, collapsing to the ground. Zinhorn drops the machine and misses crushing Nedrigo with it by a hair. All three of your companions lay on the rocky ground, their eyes rolled back into their heads and trembling all over.
That's not good. I guess I would reach out for Evan and I don't know, see if like I don't like is there anything I can do? Did the machine shut off or is it still going?
It didn't start. That didn't happen.
Oh. Okay.
You were all
Well,
just climbing the ridge and all of a sudden they just collapsed as soon as they were
Okay.
in sight of the pillar.
well then something's got to change, so I'm going to try to set up this machine on my own cuz like what else can I do
Mm-hmm.
in the face of this kind of magic?
Okay. So the machine's kind of on its side, but you can still sort of access the controls. Make an Arcana check.
Watch me blow these ones. 16.
16. Yeah, that's not as good as 33.
No.
I think that you are able to sort of see the controls that Nedrigo had operated before, and I think you kind of have a vague sense of like, well, it would probably go like this. You're not entirely sure, but then as you start trying to make it do something, all of a sudden, all these little indicators sort of flash red, and it goes.
Let's see. Well, I'm the only one that wasn't affected this way, so I'm going to assume that was my spell from earlier. And need to do something, so oh wait, dang. Okay. Let's see what level. That was an 8th level spell, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'd have to use my 9th level spell. Unless so if I use a wish spell to duplicate
Mm-hmm.
the mind blank,
Mm-hmm.
it still only works on one person, or could I like blank it across the party?
I mean, the way the way that that would work is that you can easily and predictably replicate the exact spell, which would work on one person.
Okay.
Wish is of a nature that you could ask for more, but that introduces risk, right?
Right.
You would effectively be asking it for 3 spells when it can predictably do 1.
Okay. Well, I'm not willing to take any risks here, so I'm gonna use mind blank on Nedry
Okay.
at 9th
Uh,
level. Because I have to.
All right. Nedrigo, you have been, traveling the world, widely respected as an expert in all things Titan, and well regarded, respected. People seek you out for your knowledge, and you have always, made it a point to try to learn things however you can, but knowing you always have the pillar there to help if there's something that can't be learned any other way. You have occasionally had inklings that something feels a little bit strange. Like it just feels, every time you seek the pillar's knowledge about something, it gives it to you, but there's just a little piece of it that it feels like it's a little bit too easy. And then all of a sudden, you're lying on the rocky ground with Lynn looking down at you.
Can you hear me?
Um,
Are you with me?
Of course, I can hear you. You're speaking.
Yeah.
But what's going on?
That's a good question. I don't know how to turn on the machine.
But you already did years ago.
No?
Hmm.
Yeah, I think as you look around, Vertigo, it is exactly how you remember at the time that the machine seemed to activate. It seems like you're right back there, except Evan and Zinhorn are laying on the ground, and the machine is over on its side, not making that beautiful sound.
If I had to make a guess, it almost feels like maybe it's like this is complete guess that it is maybe protecting itself. Like it doesn't want this on. I don't know. I can't. I'm just like I'm guessing at this thing. So can you help?
What has changed? Why is this different? What did you do?
Make an
I-
arcana. Well, go ahead.
Well, you can just tell him. I used the spell that I used on myself before. I only had to do it more powerfully because I didn't have that level magic left. So can you help? How do you turn it on?
Oh, very resourceful of you. Of course, of course. It's an odd angle, but I'm sure we can work with that.
Go ahead and make an arcana check, Nedrigo, for this whole kind of situation.
29.
29 is pretty good. I think that you put together pretty quickly here that although apparently it was not actually a case, I think you're recognizing first that this whole experience of healing the pillar was not real. It was a psychic vision. But even as you recognize that, you feel just a sort of tingle of understanding at the edges of your awareness that seems to say it wasn't real yet.
Oh, it's very subtle. Very subtle. Huh. I'm very glad you know that spell. Um, the promise of things that could be.
Can we turn this on?
Probably.
I think when you find Nedrigo, you find that it does the same thing it did for her, which is that unlike the time before where it seemed to generate this shockwave, when you do it this time, just all of the little sort of indicators flash red and it goes.
Ah.
Also, Zinhorn and Evan are still lying on the ground looking like they're having seizures.
Well, it seems to be temporarily off its kilter, quite literally. Most likely because the effects are still lingering from the pulse that was generated. I don't suppose you can cast that spell again.
No, that was it. That's all I've got.
Okay. Would you say that they're dreaming?
Can I do like a medicine check on them?
Yeah.
Oof. Not great. 12.
I mean, I think that based on any kind of a mundane medicine, it would resemble something like a seizure, like an epileptic fit, for example. But you certainly understand that there must be more to it than that. It seems magically induced. I think you're able to make them more comfortable in such a way that they're not going to like hurt themselves as they are, but you don't know how to stop it.
Yeah, this is beyond what I can do.
I have a thought. It's not entirely as the magic's intended it, but it might be possible. What I experienced was real, as far as I could tell. Well, wish fulfillment would be a proper phrase. It was enveloping. It lasted for many years. Much like a dream projects itself and can build a reality around you. But dreams are interesting. Both they exist and don't at the same time. There's an entire realm of dreams which exists, but also the dreams within an individual. I haven't had an occasion to really use this spell, but I've been considering it for some time, given our interaction with the realms of dream. But I can enter people's dreams. Once.
Is that safe?
I doubt anything that we're working with today is safe, so probably not. But if I expend the energy that I have, I may be able to duplicate the effect of the spell, so that either one of us can try to traverse through both dreams, which sounds like a technical impossibility, or both of us could enter one of their dreams, or each of us could enter a dream. I don't know what we would encounter in there. Most likely the most positive state they could possibly be in. Unlike your ability to simply cloud my mind from the effect, we would have to work from the inside in order to try to stimulate them towards the real reality. But it's only a theory, and I'm open to other interpretations.
I mean, I don't have any other ideas. If the machine doesn't work and I can't cast that spell again, like, I don't know what other recourse we have.
I was hoping you weren't going to say that. This is going to be highly experimental. But aside from trying to repair the machine, which we don't really understand to begin with, or reset it, which I also don't really understand, this may be the way. So,
Well, if you take Zinhorn, I'll go for Evan and see if we can bring him around.
all right.
Takes a deep breath.
Mhm.
Solomonia, I have need of your gifts.
Because he doesn't actually have the spell
Mhm,
prepared
mhm, mhm.
either.
At first, it's like you have no connection anymore. But then it does arrive, this feeling of the divine energy unlocking the spell in your mind, but it just is on a strange delay, like somehow it had to travel much farther than usual to reach you. But it does work. You are able to cast the spell.
Okay, and he'll spend 5 sorcery points to duplicate the spell, to twin the spell.
Okay. Is
Uh,
the 5 because it's like per level of the spell or
yep,
something? Okay.
exactly. It's a 5th level spell.
Love it.
Um,
This is
and
great. I love this.
and and
Okay, lie down. Keep your thoughts on Evan. And this is most likely going to work, but it will most likely also be very strange.
Sounds about right for everything else we do. Okay.
And, if this works,
You'll have one heck of a paper to write.
well, I was hoping you'd have a song to write.
Still
But,
working on that one.
How about we make a deal that both?
Works for me.
So, Evan, several years have passed, and so much progress has been made in helping the people of the material plane understand that departure of your soul to the astral plane is just another part of the journey. It doesn't need to be dreaded or feared in the way that so often people do. And this is a big ask, of course, so it's not like everybody knows, but there's been progress. And you are, well regarded as, someone who is kind, compassionate, understanding, able to help people with some of these most difficult times, and at the same time able to take up arms when someone seeks to subvert this intended order and to cheat reality by extending their soul's dominion beyond the time allotted for it. I think that you have just sort of like finished a mission of that type, and you're on your way back. How are you traveling back, having dispatched a necromancer that was performing foul deeds?
Spectral steed.
Oh, nice. What does the spectral steed look like?
You ever play Skyrim? there's a horse that you get in Skyrim if you
I
join the
used to play
Assassin's
Skyrim.
Guild.
I used to play Skyrim, but then I took an arrow to the knee.
Yeah. But it's like a black horse that's sort of all like misty and murky.
Mhm.
And when it runs, it actually looks that way. And it has like red eyes. That's what it looks like.
All right. I think as you're riding along, lost in your own thoughts. You are at the last moment with your quick reflexes able to pull up short because suddenly someone is now standing in front of you in the previously empty road. And as you look, you realize it's Lynn, but it's weird just because you haven't seen her take this appearance since when? I mean, since back at the pillar, I guess, right? You knew that she had been out there doing, advocacy work to help, there be, broader public understanding and acceptance of shape changers and, guidance programs to help those who don't know how to otherwise function in a non-shape changing society. It's an important thing with all these refugees from Dinather. There's been a lot of trouble because there's sometimes temptation to take advantage of those powers, but then you have difficulty forming trusting relationships with non-shape changers. And so it's really something that she has really taken up as a personal calling, and that, of course, on top of the mega stardom as a performer. But it's strange, therefore, to see her in this, your old adventuring days look. But there she is.
I'm gonna like pull back on my nice little steed, Shadowmere. I'm just gonna go full on Skyrim theft.
Mm-hmm.
And just be like, oh, what, why this?
Oh, Petra is right. This is super weird. Okay, this is gonna sound strange, I think. But this isn't real. I mean, I'm real, sort of. I'm here, but
Right.
I'm not here.
Mm.
And you're trapped in like a magical dream. So like this is not real. I don't. I mean, that's the most efficient way that I can say this, and I know you're probably not going to believe me, but yeah, you gotta wake up.
I know that you pull these tests every once in a while where you go around and, like shapeshifters take on identities of people that they shouldn't. And if this is a test, it's really me. It's okay. You don't have to play this game. It's fine.
I would like the two of you to make opposed wisdom saving throws.
Jesus. Okay. Oh God.
It's funny because we both
Wow.
rolled a 2, but I have +10.
I rolled a 1 and I have a
Mhm.
+1. That's the only reason I have a 2.
Wait, so what was your result, Evan? I don't see it in the
12.
Roll20. Okay.
I don't have Roll20 open.
Okay.
Sorry. I'm opening it
So
now.
it's a 12 versus a 2. So I think all of a sudden, Lynn, as Evan says that, you start sort of feeling a little bit confused. Like, wait, is that what you were doing? You don't think that was what you were planning, but then again, Evan's right that there has been, people who try to impersonate people that they shouldn't, and you do sometimes have to have like interventions, but you can tell this is really Evan. He's got the spectral steed. Like, someone trying to just impersonate him wouldn't be able to call upon the spectral steed. Wait, what were you doing here? So, Nedrigo, or rather, Zinhorn. I think that you have had a lot of adventures of your own. You were joined on the last one by your parents, who, inspired by your example, did emerge from the endless waltz to continue their journey. And you have always focused your efforts on when there are children who are lost or in trouble. And sometimes you can reunite them with their parents, but if not, you are able to bring them to the new and better than ever before orphanages where they can be cared for and protected. And I think you have been here at this orphanage for the first time in a little while, and everyone's glad to see you, and you're getting ready to go into some just story time, which everyone finds really fun because you're there in your very fancy armor with all your cool gear, and you're just sitting there and telling these kids like bedtime stories. But when you kind of start looking around the crowd, you spot Nedrigo. But why? He was on a lecturing tour though. He looks, I don't know, why is he wearing his old adventuring gear?
Brother, so good to see you.
It's wonderful to see you as well. Is there someplace we can go to talk?
It's story time. I need to tell the children their bedtime stories. I could tell them stories of our adventures if you'd like to join me.
I was there for most of them, so I'm good on that. But I would ask for a moment of your time.
Right now?
There's some urgency.
All right. I pass off the storybook to one of the older kids, and I say, I will be right back.
A young dragonborn like rushes up to like hug you around the shin and says, "You promise?"
I did, but I will be back in just a moment.
Okay, you better be back.
I will. And we go off into a linen closet or something, or just step out of the room.
You look well.
You look like you're ready to go adventuring again, or you never stopped.
It's interesting to say something like that. I never quite felt I was ready for any kind of adventuring. I always felt like a poor cloak fitting.
I don't know what that means. I mean, like someone didn't fit you for a cloak properly?
I wasn't always at home, where we have good tailors that know my size. Most of the time afterwards, when I joined the school, it was hand-me-down robes from students who'd outgrown them. Anyway, it's good to see you.
Good to see you too. It's been some time.
Not as much time as you think. And too much time all the same. What have you been up to for the last while?
Keeping people safe, stomping out evil, rescuing children. I've been adventuring with my parents. That's been fantastic. And, bringing fame and fortune to the orphanage and the annexes around the city. We've been spreading out. There's been a lot of Denetherian refugees that need help.
So, Nedrigo, as Zinhorn is saying all of this, you find yourself starting to remember that. Like, you knew that. You knew that's what he was doing. But then as you are feeling that idea kind of creep into your head, you hear a little voice inside your head saying, nope, stop it. You're doing a thing. Keep focus. And you're able to clear, and you realize, yes, of course, yes, you're here in the dream. You know what you're doing again.
And he will say out loud,
Right. You're right, of course.
About what?
We took you away from all of this, didn't we? When we all went on our routes, when we went adventuring. And this is what you wanted to come back to. What you would have done. What you
Yeah.
will do.
If Kosh hadn't sent that dream to me, I would still be here,
Hmm.
caring for others the way that they cared for me, helping to raise the next generation, and as long as I draw a breath, a generation after and the one after that.
I believe in you. I know that you will do these things. I know that nothing will stop you from doing these things. But I've got to tell you something now. You may not like it. But as my brother, I feel you should believe me. Because as I believe you will do those things, only if you wake up now. These last few years have not existed in reality, only in dream. And you're so much better than dream. You will do great things. But you have to wake up now. See beyond all of this. Come back to me.
Nedrigo, please make a persuasion check.
Oh boy.
Mhm.
I think I have. Where is that stupid thing? I never find that stupid ability when I
Oh,
need to.
an ability other than just making a persuasion check?
It is an ability that will help me. Okay, good. I will make this ability check
Okay.
of persuasion.
Yes. Look at that.
17, which is better
17.
than I expected.
So with the 17, Zinhorn, you may make a wisdom saving throw with advantage.
Okay.
All right. 26, I think,
Yep.
is pretty good. I think as your friend, your adventuring companion, your brother says these things to you, I'm not going to tell you how you feel about it, but you do get the dawning realization that he's right. When you look around you now, suddenly you're realizing, wait, little details. Is this. It's almost like when you see through an illusion. Suddenly, just everything around you seems less vibrant in its color, its falseness apparent now. Do you wake up?
I do.
Nidrigo, you and Zinhorn both open your eyes together, and you're both back on that rocky hillside next to the overturned machine, and seeing over just across the way, Lynn and Evan still lying down next to each other. Neither of them is seizing like before, but they both have the rapid eye movement beneath closed eyelids, indicating dreaming.
I'm sorry, Zinhorn. I know that you liked it there. But I truly do believe you will achieve that.
Well, if nothing else, the pillar has shown me all of the things that I can do going forward and all the good that I will do in the future. But first, I'm going to set this machine up properly. And is there anything we can do to help Lynn and Evan?
Uh, well, there are always clever things you can do.
I think because this is this spell, it's not a concentration spell, but because
No.
you cast it twin, just because the one instance ended doesn't mean that the other isn't still up.
Um, there are ways to help, I suppose. Give them more strength to try to resist the illusion. I should say that Lynn was the one who woke me. She was able to fight it off. They were able to fight it off. All of them were able to fight it off. But unfortunately, it looks as though Evan was caught in the dream. If you set up the machine properly, it may or may not function. Both when Lynn and I tried it, it did not, and I think it's tied to the control it still exerted over us.
I think, Nedrigo, because the other half of this spell is still up and it was your casting, I think you could also join Lynn in Evan's dream.
There's a chance. With you standing guard, I feel safe enough to try it. And I might be able to help them directly. Thank you for coming back. I feel a lot better now. All right.
He lies down.
This should only take a little while. But it might be all night.
As you enter the dream, Nedrigo, you find yourself standing along a dirt road in a beautiful countryside, and as you look across, you see under a nice tree there is Lynn and Evan having what looks like sort of an impromptu picnic lunch. The spectral steed is kind of off to one side, cropping grass, and the two of them look like they're old friends catching up after not seeing each other for a while.
I'm glad to see that you're both safe, but there is some urgency.
What
Lynn?
is this? Like an intervention or something? I mean, I haven't seen you in, God, like 25 years, and all of a sudden now here you both are. Where's Zinhorn? Just gonna pull him out of your hat?
No, he's waiting for us.
For what, though? I mean, we're trying to have a picnic here. I just took care of some necromancers. I sit down and have a drink.
Lynn, you can make another wisdom saving throw, hearing what Nedrigo is saying.
Oh
Oh,
boy.
what the hell?
It is.
Natural 20. There you go.
Nice.
As soon as he's talking to you and kind of like appearing suddenly and looking like he did before, you suddenly realize it's like a balloon popping. You suddenly realize, oh my gosh, you got swept up in the power of this vision. Somehow in entering Evan's dream, you didn't have the same level of protection that your physical body does. Your astral self separated from it, lost that somehow, but you remember now.
Evan's dumb, like, rubbed off on you.
Okay, so maybe splitting the party wasn't a good idea. We gotta go.
What are you talking about? Come on, we're having. I mean, this is some really good brie. Don't lie, it's good.
So I'm assume that we have something to drink, and whatever it is, I'm gonna look at it, look at him, look at it, and like splash it in his face, see if that works.
You know
Wake
what?
up.
Because I love it so much, it just works. Yeah, Nedrigo, Lynn, and Evan, you all open your eyes. You're all back on the rocky slope. Evan, as you look up in the sky and you see just at the corner of your eye this sort of looming shape, you feel the cold, the rocky slope beneath you. and you realize how much of what you just experienced was a vision, including the part where Lady Nightshade spoke to you. And at the same time, like Nedrigo did before, and like Zinhorn feels now, and like all of you feel just in the tickle of your mind, this idea that those visions were not real yet.
I would like to roll for depression.
So
I'm gonna set my hand on Evan's shoulder and be like, I know, I miss her too. We'll
She
get
was there.
We'll find her.
An unconventional approach, Lynn, but I think it was successful.
It was
Sometimes
really
little
good
tricks are the
brie,
best
though.
tricks. It was really good.
There will be good brie, and wine, and times to talk and picnic.
I'm a totally waste a spell slot and summon my spectral steed.
I keep hearing that as Spectral Steve.
Tether myself to him.
Spectral Steve.
All right.
Maybe
Spectral
that's the
Steve
name of.
sounds
Is that the
fun.
name? What is the name of your spectral steed? It could
It
be
was like
Spectral
something mirror, wasn't it?
Steve.
Shadowmere. That was the
Shadowmere.
Yes,
it was the
that's
name
right.
of the horse in the
Also known as
Yeah.
Spectral Steve.
yeah. Spectral Steve. My internet cut out. That's why it did that.
Oh, okay.
Ah,
I was like still talking and you guys all just
Oh.
froze.
Oh, well, hope we're back. But
Yeah.
yes, you are all awake once again, though kind of perhaps reeling a bit emotionally.
Let's just take that as a lesson learned. I think we all, well, maybe not Lynn, we all saw visions of what we want to be. And what I saw wasn't bad. We just aren't there yet.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
not gonna
so,
spoil the surprise.
like, I mean, at least I don't know. And I'm just gonna walk over and like start futzing around with the thing with the Zinhorn.
Yeah. Zinhorn, I think that I would like you to make not a wisdom save, but just a wisdom check.
Who was that?
Check.
Zinhorn?
Yeah.
My internet cut out again. I said
Okay.
that I was just gonna kind of go over and mess
7.
around with Zinhorn.
All right. Well, I think with the 7, I think you are kind of just you're focused on getting the machine up and ready, and you don't have time to think more deeply about what was just happening. You've got a job to do.
Okay.
All right. I think you are able, with your enhanced strength, able to sort of put the machine right side up again, but it is not, in fact, activated in the way that it was at the start of this vision you all had. It is, as inert as it had been previously, and even when set aright, when you attempt to activate it, you get the same result as the others had, which is that the displays kind of flash red and it goes although now that it is right side up, Nedrigo, I think you do see there is one little sort of indicator that you had never really kind of fully understood what it was for. But looking at it now, you realize it does have something like a little bit of a compass needle that is in the pointing in the general direction of the pillar, but still kind of like quavering. Like every few seconds it goes, but it seems like it's pointing towards the pillar. You had never really noticed it doing anything comprehensible before.
It may need a better orientation or need to be closer to reactivate.
and he'll sort of direct Zinhorn to just turn it a little bit and see if it aligns. But if it doesn't, which is what I'm expecting.
I think what it's going to need to be closer.
Evan, give me a hand.
Yeah. And I just give him one hand. Lift it up.
With a pinky finger.
My pinky finger.
Okay. So, having passed through another layer of the pillar's magical border, you continue as the slope gets steeper. Howling winds begin blowing down the mountainside, very much in your face as you try to climb upwards. It starts as merely, a little bit unpleasant and dismaying, but soon it's really ramping up to, powerful gusts that make it difficult to stay on your feet. It's picking up little bits of grit and stone that sends it, flying through the air, and very much if you don't have something like protecting your face, it's easy to like have just like a little pebble like score your cheek and stuff. Oh, you got
I might
something?
have something for this.
Yeah?
I can cast let me see if that's okay. And I have to do it at 7th level, so I can cast Fizban's Platinum Shield.
Whoa.
And it gives us damage resistance to acid, cold, fire, lightning, and poison. Let's see, it gives us half cover. Let's see, if the creature is subjected to an effect that allows it to make a dexterity saving throw to take only half damage, the creature instead takes no damage.
All right. Well, so it does say it surrounds a creature of your choice. That it can be yourself, but it's not for everybody.
Okay.
I mean, I think that would be very effective for whoever you cast it on, but I don't think you can get everybody.
Is it possible we could walk in a line like,
Yeah, why not?
behind?
I could spread my wings out and shield the rest of you.
As the wind continues to intensify, you start feeling like if you were to spread your wings, it would just basically send you off the mountain like a kite. I think that you could certainly try making the shield and having whoever's got it walk in front and everyone else kind of walk behind them. I think that it would have diminished effectiveness further back. So like maybe it's better than nothing for the two people behind you, but then like diminishing returns basically.
Does my true sight tell me anything?
Your true sight, basically everything within the range of the true sight is as it appears to be.
Okay.
You're not seeing any illusions or anything invisible.
And the pillar, like we can see it, but we don't know if it's actually
still
where
very
it
much
is.
wreathed in clouds. It feels it's you get the sense that it's almost more like a shadow somehow.
Okay.
But it is a shape that indicates it. But the thing is, there's no question of where you need to go. It's at the peak of this mountain. You go up.
Well, I did reattune to the hither thither wand. Do we want to give it a shot?
I was gonna say, what if we both use Dimension Door, and we can take?
Than that.
Well, I mean, it would get us closer. That's what I mean.
You could certainly use that to move forward, but I guess just to be clear, ever since you've sort of been in this sort of pillar domain, it's not actually like a small area. You've got quite a ways to go, but certainly that would, you think, be effective at moving you at least that far forward.
Well, I mean, instead of the spell slots, the hither thither wand would take us farther and wouldn't
we could all go
that cost. Yeah.
There's a particularly hard gust, and I need everyone to make a strength saving throw.
Great. Love it. Don't love it.
Oh my god.
Wow, you guys.
And we all go tumbling down the mountain.
Zinhorn is the one with the big super strength, and he rolls. So literally, Evan did okay.
I have big super strength. I have like 26.
Oh yeah, you both
Or
have
23 because
a
I have
powerful
the
thing.
belt now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zinhorn, do you still have the high? You still have a +8, so you both have high strength things, um, but not when you roll a 2 on the die. So here's the thing: Zinhorn, Lynn, and Nedry are about to get blown off their feet and start tumbling back down the steep slope you've been climbing up. I think if you make a dexterity save, Evan, I'll let you grab one of them to stop them from tumbling backwards.
Okay.
Who do you,
25.
25 is pretty. Yeah, who do you grab?
I think I would grab Zinhorn because we were carrying like
Okay, yeah.
the machine, so I would just like he's right there.
Okay, so I think you are able to sort of with Zinhorn hold the both of you stable and prevent the machine from getting dropped. But Lynn and Nedrigo tumble backwards, kind of going, ass over tea kettle down the slope a little bit, taking 12 bludgeoning points of damage. And you don't like tumble all the way to the bottom or anything, but it is you're sort of knocked off your feet and you slide backwards down a little bit.
Well, that sucks.
Yep, I'm getting out the wand.
The wind has started getting really cold now, too, by the way.
We might want to try the machine again. It might change what we're seeing into something we can handle.
Well, we got to get up there first.
Yeah, how far away is this?
I mean, you can get back to where the machine was without. The problem is not necessarily that the continuous wind is so hard that you can't push against it. It's that when it gusts and you're not prepared, it knocks you off your feet. It's still awful all the time. I'm just saying it was only something that required a saving throw during the gust.
I think that Nedry will be taking it extra slow just to make sure he's
Okay,
always got
sure.
a grip on something as he moves up.
All right. I think actually, as the wind continues to get cold, I would like everyone to make a Constitution saving throw.
Ugh.
Wow.
I
You guys
swear
are
to
not
God.
not rolling high on these saves, you guys. All of you are
I
going
am-
to take a level of exhaustion as this
Wow.
wind really just begins to just sap your strength and your reserve.
Oh, there it is. One level.
Yeah, for now.
Okay.
You're not out of the wind
Okay.
yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast I'm gonna use the hither thither wand
Okay.
and probably put it up as far the mountain as it can go.
Sure. And remind me, is it 500 feet? Is that what it can do?
1500.
1,500. That's pretty good. Yeah. Okay.
Hmm.
I think that I'm going to request that Evan and Zinhorn make a strength check. Strength, not athletics. Taking the machine through the little portal just because it's awkwardly shaped. But
Okay.
15.
15 and a 16. Yeah, I think you manage it. It's a little awkward. You have to go kind of slowly through, but you do get it up there. And you have made substantial progress, making it another 1,500 feet up the side of this slope. But somehow the wind up here is even worse. It's just howling in a way that's making it like you can't really even hear each other speak without shouting. Like if you're just trying to speak at a normal volume, you can't hear each other. If you kind of shout, you can make it out. But it also is starting to sound a little bit like this howling is it sounding like voices? Let's get a wisdom save from everyone except Lynn and Nedrigo. So just Zinhorn and Evan. Because this is an effect that their mind blank is protecting them against.
17.
17. Yeah. So, Evan, you are getting the feeling that these voices, it sounds like there's sort of a voice trying to tell you that someone you know is in danger, but that's really all you're getting from it. Um, you are distracted enough, though, that it is going to put you at a disadvantage on your next check that you make, because it's a little unsettling to hear that, even if it's not doing anything else. But Zinhorn, you are suddenly feeling this vision in the back of your mind that all of these nightmare portals opening all over the world, you know, they're bad enough, but right now one has just opened in the orphanage in Pashan, and everyone's in danger, and you could help if you were there, but you're not there. You're here.
And I have no way of getting there.
And so there's another gust, so I need another strength saving throw.
Finally, a decent number.
Okay. So, yes, Evan and Zinhorn are both easily able to manage it. We need. You roll it twice, Evan? I see two of them, but they're both
Yep.
good.
23.
Lynn and Nedrigo, did you make the strength save?
Oh, probably not.
No.
Oh, 15.
So, a 15 is still not enough, but however, because Evan and Zinhorn rolled so high, each of you can make a dexterity save to try to stop Nedrigo and Lynn from falling down the mountain. But it's difficult because you're carrying the machine too. I think an 11
18.
isn't going to do it. I think an 18 you are able to. I guess tell me who who you try to stop.
I will grab onto whoever's closest to me. It's probably Lynn. So
All right. Okay. Lynn, yeah, Evan grabs you at the last second with his free hand, because of course he only needs the pinky to hold up the machine. But Nedry, you unfortunately find yourself once again tumbling down the slope a little bit, taking another 17 points of bludgeoning damage.
while he's like walking back up the hill, I'm going to take a rope out of my backpack and loop it through my belt
Yeah.
and have him like tie onto me. So
Nice.
that way, and he's only falling down if I fall down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do the same with Lynn.
Okay, great. So now the wind gets even colder. I need another Constitution saving throw. You can feel it freezing your eyelashes and stinging your cheeks, and it's just you would be able to see your breath if the wind wasn't immediately carrying it beyond sight.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. So, Evan, you are able to sort of muster up an internal warmth to keep yourself going. Everyone else takes another level of exhaustion. And as the howling grows even louder, once again, another wisdom save from Evan and Zinhorn. Look, that's a much better wisdom save from Zinhorn.
12.
So, Zinhorn, this time, although the vision you gained was really upsetting, I think you recognize now in kind of thinking about everything that's been happening, who knows? It theoretically could have happened, but you don't think that vision you saw of the orphanage and the nightmare attacking it, that wasn't like truly happening right this second. It could, right? It's true that something could happen there and you aren't there to help, but that doesn't mean that it's true right this minute. There's again a little bit of that tickle of it's not true yet. But you recognize now that these howling winds seem like what they're doing is trying to stop you from proceeding towards the pillar. They're trying to persuade you that you should not do what you're doing.
That makes me want to redouble my efforts.
Evan, you have a vision of nightmares attacking your mom's house in Gorn.
Not my mom.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, I gotta go. I gotta get out of here. Like, my mom, it's not good.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just gonna panic. I
I'm
need,
gonna
like, more
grab
than
Evan
a pinky.
and just like hold his face and it's not real. It did this to me too. What
I
you're
saw it, though.
I know, but it's not real. It's the pillar. It's messing with your mind. Your
You don't know
mom,
that.
I don't know if your mom is okay or not, but I
No.
do know that there's a really good chance she's okay. And the
I
pillar
never
is
should have left her.
lying.
I never should have left her. She's an old woman all by herself back in Gorn.
She's gonna be fine.
Don't
We
make me
need
get the
to do
wine out.
this.
It's cold.
Worst son ever.
All right.
Besides, you can't go anywhere. We're tied together.
Mm,
Well, you're just gonna have to go with me.
yeah.
Later,
So-
I will.
Wonderful. So as you continue trudging up the slope,
Well, in their heads, one at a time, but quickly kind of jumping between them, because it's too loud for Nedrigo to really be heard. He uses telepathy instead.
Look, I don't know if we can go any farther. I'm too tired to keep up with you now. We have to try the machine. It may at least be able to show us what this really is.
And repeat that message like 4 times or 3 times.
All right,
Because you can't do group telepathy yet.
Mhm.
let's put the machine down.
Okay.
There's another gust. I would have Zinhorn and Evan make strength saving throws with advantage because you are being helped, and only you need to make it just because you're the one that's going to determine what happens, basically. What that also means, though, is that if you fail, the person tied to you goes with you.
Right.
But Zinhorn gets a natural 20. I think you are able to.
You said it was
withstand-
strength, right?
strength save, yeah.
12.
Ooh,
11.
11.
But you have advantage, right?
Oh, that's
yeah,
right.
you did
that's
have
right.
advantage, but yeah, so you'd roll one more.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Oh, 26.
That's better. Yeah. So the two of you are able to once again hold strong against this wind, and with the foresight of having tied the ropes, Nedrigo and Lynn are able to make use, take refuge in your strength, protecting them from getting blown back down the mountain. But again, it's so cold. It's so cold. Please, everyone, make another Constitution saving throw. Yep.
18.
Looking for one more. That's another level of exhaustion for all 4 of you.
Which exhaustion rules are you using, by the way?
I was assuming the 2024 ones, but if
Okay.
you want to use the other ones instead, you can.
Would like
just
to use the hither thither wand again.
so just for the record of anyone who doesn't know the distinction, the 2024 rules, instead of having things like, oh, your movement speed is cut in half or you disadvantage on checks, I believe it's just like it's a cumulative subtraction to all your rolls.
Yeah, and a reduction in speed.
Okay. So yeah, I think that you are getting ready to you're withstanding all of that, but do you want to use the wand again, Lynn?
Yeah, I'm gonna move the portals and go through again.
Okay. Make one last wisdom saving throw. All 4 of you this time.
Oh boy.
With advantage, Nedrigo and Lynn can make this with advantage.
18 that time.
All right.
Oh,
Yeah.
20, not natural.
Okay. Yeah, pretty good. And then 25 for Evan. Did we get? Oh, and then 26 for so I think that in this case, Evan and Zinhorn, you kind of got the number of these voices now. You kind of understand what they're trying to do, and so although you can kind of hear them trying to tell you the people you care about are in danger because you're here instead of where you could help them, you understand that, like, that doesn't, that the intent of that is not to let you know so that you can go help them. It is to make you doubt what you're doing. Nedrigo and Lynn, you feel that you've had this sort of blanket of psychic protection from the spell, but even that, I think with how physically exhausted you're feeling, you're sort of feeling it at the edges. And I think although you are not, subject to the psychic effect of it, you can start to hear the voices nonetheless, right? Like you're not being granted like visions of anything, but you can hear it and it's upsetting regardless. But as you all pass through the hither-thither portal, carrying the machine through once more, you had placed that portal just shy of the nearest ridge that you could see, because you can't really see any surface to put it on higher than that. And as you emerge there, the wind is gone. The wind is so it drifts away like a weary sigh. Now your cheeks flushed and tingling with relief, you look up and behold, you suppose it must be the pillar, but you can't make your eyes rest upon it. Your mind cannot perceive it directly. It's almost like a permanent blind spot. You try to catch it out of the corner of your eye, only to find your gaze traveling across the space where it must be without taking in the image. But you know it is there, because you feel it in your mind. And everyone who doesn't have the, so Zinhorn and Evan, you are once again feeling that sort of unvoiced promise of, everything that you've been shown could be real. All you have to do is ask.
Mm.
And almost absurdly quiet within this sudden, like sensory overload of the sudden absence of the wind and the disorientation of such a rapid transition. Very quietly, you hear the machine go, bing.
How do you know it's working? Because it did the thing.
It went ping. That's better than saying, right?
What does that that compass like thing look like?
So now if you set the machine down and you look at it again, that little needle is now solidly pointing right at the direction that the pillar kind of must be, and you can almost make yourself look at it when you follow the needle up.
Okay. Do we want to take a moment?
To do what?
Yeah, and do what?
No, let's,
Get it over with.
yeah, let's do this before something else
We've
happens.
come this far. We must
Okay.
proceed.
And at this point, Netri's moving very slowly.
Everybody hold on to something just in case.
Mm.
And tries to activate the machine.
You do. And as it has when you've used it before, it sort of creates this magical shockwave. And Lynn and Nedrigo, despite the mind blank spell on it, you just immediately feel that, like, what is happening right now is so much more powerful than that spell. It just blasts away that protection like it wasn't there. All four of you immediately are engulfed in this shockwave, and now each of you are dead, but still conscious. You don't remember exactly how it happened, but the tiny things that killed you now climb all over your decaying form. They don't seem to be reveling in victory or shaking off the trauma of battle. They don't seem especially interested in you at all, except as a curiosity. You hear them talking of banal trivia as they walk across your lifeless face. You hear others speculating inane theories of how you came to be, so wrong as to be laughable if you hadn't been robbed of breath by the presence of their kind. They treat you like an idle curiosity, interesting to gaze upon, but only for a moment before they resume their tiny days. They don't even know you or what you've lost. The entire cosmos and the many civilizations that came before them, and they don't even care. Your anger builds with no way to let it out. You have no way to express your rage. It simply remains bottled up within your imprisoned consciousness until it begins to leak through the plane of dream. Now the tiny things care, because the tiniest fragments of your anger are an inconvenience to them. But do they seek to understand what they are or where they came from? They do not. They simply wish to make it stop. Their pathetic excuses of investigations lead them to discovery, not of your fate, or of all the friends and family that went before you, not of your ceaseless torment. No, what they discover is that they can draw power from your ancient flesh. And they do. With a taste for it, they begin mining your body for magic with gusto. Satisfied with their treats, blissfully unaware of the sacrilege they are performing with each new granted wish. And their wishes are so small. They do not begin to deplete the well of suffering and rage within you. Rather, they see you as a tool, a gift, a resource to be tapped. An apparently infinite resource, because with each bucket they send down that well, the level of rage within has only gotten higher. This continues until the well begins to overflow. They've built a dam around a thing that they did not care to understand, and as the magical spheres darken and rot with the rage seeping into them, the tiny things once again change the way they think of you. Now you are not a curiosity. You're not a tool. Now you are a hazard, an evil thing to be dealt with, a problem to be solved, a broken thing to be fixed. You lost everything you ever knew, everyone you ever loved. Your world no longer exists, transformed to suit the needs of beings that care nothing for you. And worse, do not even know you are something to care about. They simply wish to plug a leak. All of you find yourself stunned, dizzy, nauseous, lying on the ground around the machine. And the thing that all of you understand implicitly is that you need to tell the pillar what it should be.
This is hard because we can't sit around and discuss it like,
Well,
like
I
we
think
normally would.
my first instinct would be,
I mean, the four of you are sitting next to each other on the, at the base of the machine. You feel that there's this psychic connection between the machine and the pillar and you right now. You feel the pressure of this decision to be made. You could talk to each other.
I feel like maybe
it
it
needs to
could be
be
a
at
monument.
peace. It needs to be at peace. It needs to let go. It's like Zaylene used to always say, how she used to talk about death not being the end. It's a release. It's a
Free.
relief. Free
It's
from
freedom.
rage. Yeah, free from all of the pain. Like, can you imagine existing this way that it has for who knows how long, millennia?
I think it also needs to be known, to be
I think
understood.
I don't think so.
It needs to be let go. Untethered.
Free.
Zinhorn,
Mm-hmm.
you kind of started to say something, and
Yeah, I was thinking that if it became a monument to the Titans to show us what their world was like and what they lost when mortals came, maybe we could understand it and that would quell its rage.
Because there are some things that an apology is never going to fix. Like even recognition, acknowledging that suffering isn't going to be enough to make it go away.
That's why I stopped speaking, because I get this stuff wrong all the time.
I mean,
And
we
this
all get
is-
stuff wrong all the time. It's not
Yeah,
exclusive to you. We know that.
I know, but I tend to start fights. I mean, sure, we win them, but
Saline would know what to do. She'd know the right words to say. This was her job, you know?
Well, we did manage to convince the other Titan to move on. It took getting to know it a bit better to do that, though.
Well, I think we've gotten to that part.
mm-hmm.
Do
Do
any
you think
of
it's
you want? Go ahead.
Nope.
Sorry. I was just going to say, if any of you want to like call upon any of your sort of resources or whatever, if like you're here, you can do things.
phone a friend, call a
Well,
lifeline?
I'm.
I'm gonna start to pray.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna look at Evan. It's like,
Mhm.
got anything?
I think that that's the best thing is to
Mhm.
just begin a prayer
Mhm.
to Lady Nightshade, asking for her to help
Okay.
see this to its end.
Mhm. Make what skill would you want that to be? So my first
Mm.
instinct was insight, but tell me
I
if you
was
think
gonna say
something else.
religion.
Hmm.
I was gonna say religion.
I mean, sure. Yeah. If you want it to be religion, that works.
I was gonna say athletics because that's plus 13,
Hmm.
and I'm really strong now.
Mhm.
No, of course I can't see it. 23.
23 is pretty good. I think that here in this moment, it maybe stings a little that you wish you could just ask Zaline and she could just answer you here. The prayer feels kind of inadequate compared to what that might be. But you do have what she taught you and the things that you've learned about the way this kind of could all work. And even though you know really that that idea that that this the conversation you got to have with Lady Nightshade was part of that vision. So from a certain perspective, it wasn't real, right? But here's the thing. You knew Zaline. You worked with her, you talked with her, you traveled with her, you adventured with her. You think that even if that conversation didn't happen in the traditional sense, that doesn't make it not true. And so, as you are able to sort of reflect on the idea that you have found within yourself, in your commitment to serving the Lady Nightshade's cause, you find a confidence in yourself that you do think that you can tell what she would say. And one of the things that she talked about was there's obviously things like necromancers and such that try to never die. But other kinds of undead things don't always stay just out of a selfishness of like trying to use arcane knowledge or magic. Sometimes it's a kind of unfinished business. And what you gleaned out of this whole experience, the vision that you got through the machine, is that there was terrible loss, but so much of the anger was that the beneficiaries of this new changed world didn't even know. And you know that part of every memorial service in every culture you've ever heard of, do they say to forget those who are gone?
Nope. I think that after praying and coming to this realization, I'm going to turn to Zinhorn and say, I think that we're both right. We have to help it let go, but make sure that no one ever forgets.
Then that's what we tell it needs to be. I don't know how to do that.
I hate to bring this up again, but once upon a time, a bunch of people got together and told a really long story to a whole bunch of people. Stories of power. Is that a terrible idea? But it's just one
Songs
idea.
have power too.
Yeah, I mean,
What if you made a song?
I mean,
I'm
I
not going to
imagine that will certainly
complain
happen,
about
but
the heroes of legend because I'm not Zaleen and I haven't heard it all. But I mean, I think that we have the capability to leave this place with the promise that we tell the story.
And maybe we can also tell it to become a more mundane monument to the Titans and to the world that they built before us, so that we can understand what they were and what they lost and what we gained by inhabiting this world. And it doesn't have to be a
fountain of
monument.
memories. A fountain of memories.
Ooh.
I
Can you
like that.
imagine?
Oh, see, I knew you were better at this than I am.
The we don't want it to become a spectacle is the thing, because this is something, this is sacred. We don't want to turn it into, a tourist destination, you know? But
Maybe a place of learning instead, then,
Mm.
where that can be taught, shared,
Titan
understood.
University.
Titan U. Go Titans.
Go Titans.
That's the football team.
Remember the Titans.
Remember the Titans. That would be such a great motto. Remember the Titans.
I think I preferred Fountain of Memories, but
You like that? I mean, that could be
Memories.
at the center
Mhm.
of Titan University. Like,
That'd be like on the third line down. Remember the Titans.
yeah.
Titan. Wow.
I do think that Nedrico has a point. I mean, We need the memories. I think it all would work. Like the memories, like a fountain of memories, and a place that's not a spectacle, but where people can come and learn,
Reflect.
reflect.
Appreciate and understand.
Honor.
Appreciate.
Maybe even mourn a little bit.
Definitely. Because that's what I feel like. I mean, I'm not Zaleen, but she did tell me her experience with Nedry and the Titan, that was part of the anger. You know, like all this happened and who cared? There was no one left to even care. And people took advantage of what was left behind. Without even caring where it came from.
Gosh cared, but was unable to directly do anything.
You recall the story was that in order to carry out the last of its fighting, the Titan imprisoned its hope. And that's what Kosh was.
Needs that back. They both
So
need to be set free.
Yes.
Okay.
Of course, I think everybody's going to look at Lynn because, you know, she's the best person to put things into words.
Well, I mean, I'll manage on the more
Nedry is better with
study-wise
the
way.
Nedry is better with the specifics. I'm more of a broad brushstrokes person.
We just have different perspectives.
Mm-hmm. So I think, I mean, we couldn't have done any of this if we hadn't done it together. So we may as well finish the job the same way.
I think that while there was some initial uncertainty as to how you actually would make this happen, you all find that once you have come together in a common understanding of this idea, collectively you all feel that this psychic pressure that was on you to make a decision, it's released like letting go of a balloon. And as you watch this strange distortion in space, the space around it begins to calm. And you watch as at first you see what could have been just a plain gray pillar, impossibly tall. From the base around it, you watch as this gray stone starts turning almost mother of pearl, iridescent, white, but glimmering, shimmering. And this extends up the pillar itself too, until it almost looks like it's made of crystal. It extends higher and higher, and now, even though it was only in the vision before, you hear that same sound like a choir. And as you watch this transition of material beginning to climb, you see that starting to curl around it in a strip that circumnavigates the pillar around and around and around are strange engravings and characters that seem almost like sort of pictographic language. Perhaps that is exactly what it is, telling a story of some kind. And it continues around and around and around, higher and higher, until you watch as the very uppermost peak, barely visible in the sky, begins to erupt as fountain emerges from all around it. And as it's so high in the air, spreading out in all directions, as it begins to come back down through the sky, it turns into a rainbow in every direction.
Look, guys, prismatic wall.
And then the machine goes ping and goes dark. And I think that's where we will end tonight's session.
Bing. Bing.
So, with the pillar resolved? Question mark? What will become next? What will come next for the Pocket Protectors? What do they do next? How do things all wrap up? We'll have to find out when we return next time for more adventure on so many levels.
So
So many levels.
levels of pillars.
Rainbows.